Doha. A city defined by its contrasts, where ancient culture meets cutting-edge innovation, and the flavors of the world ignite the desert night. But tonight, the spotlight shifts to the Suheim bin Hamad Stadium for a historic homecoming. It's been 15 years. 2010 was the last time the 5,000 meters graced this track, the night the great Eliud Kipchoge set a mark that has stood the test of time. Now, a new generation is ready to chase that ghost. Olympic finalist Birhanu Balew is here to claim the crown. He's joined by 1,500-meter specialist and two-time world indoor champion Tefera, and the pride of U.S. distance running, Cooper Teare. The wait is over. The 5,000 meter is back. Let's see if history is made tonight.
So away they go, in warm conditions here. And, well, the target is the meeting record of 12:51. I mentioned only once before has the 5,000 been run here in Doha. 2010, won by a certain Eliud Kipchoge. I wonder what happened to him. But that's the benchmark, 12:51, which means around 2:34 for the first kilometre, which equates and breaks down to around 61-62 seconds per lap.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not interested.
I was looking at this field, and there's three pacemakers. There they are, and where they go, and you're kind of going, 5,000 in Doha, it's warm, you know. I just would have thought they'll want to build the race. There's nothing wrong with, you know, they could end up with a good, strong, low 13 minutes, but you don't go out hard necessarily and set yourself up to fail, if, as it were. It's early season. Yes, many of these have raced, and whether it's on the roads, they've had good indoor seasons. You mentioned Cooper Teare, but you know, he's just going to sit and watch and see what happens. So the pacemakers are on their merry way, but here's the race behind them, and Bale's just gone to the front there to stir it up a little bit. But these three might be able to have their own little race.
Yeah, race within a race, but that's quite a gap, isn't it? That was what, 20-30 metres between the three pacemakers and the chasing pack. All grouped together. It's like there's been a bit of a union agreement here. Balew there, mentioned him, Dominic Balew, the European 10,000 metre champion. He's in that pack as well, but good to see Getnet Wali.
Yeah, but Singh has just broken out of the pack. But you see, even though he's done that, because he's gone too quick, and they've gone, I'm not doing that. You know, they already, he put a burst on for 150 metres, as though he wanted to, well, let's let's close the gap, guys. But if you're going to do that, you just do it gradually. Because he's sort of sprinted through, they've all just let him do that, and now they'll sweep him up. But Bale's just starting to get things moving a little bit.
A little bit of inexperience, perhaps, from Singh. Altogether more experienced heads behind them. So the pack approaching the first kilometre. It's going to be nowhere near the pace that we were talking about at the start of the race. But these three have been asked to do a job, and they're doing that job. So Singh from Wale, Yehuni, should mention him, Adisu Yehuni from Ethiopia. He's the fastest on paper in this field, 12:49. He's the former world junior champion, only 22 years old. And Reynold Cheruiyot's also in here, only 20 years old, the young Kenyan, taking over from the great Timothy Cheruiyot.
Yeah, Ethiopia brought quite a few really promising youngsters. They often do to this meet in Doha, and you maybe even see them for the first time. Yehuni, we know a fair bit about. Kasai is in this as well. He's 21. Got a good range, 1,500 metres. Obviously has potential at the 5,000 as well. Lots, you said at the beginning, just an open race. The big names are in here, and the guys like Tefera, like Cooper Teare, for instance. Balew probably will want to make sure it's a bit quicker. Wale would want to make sure it's quicker, of course. But they've all got, there's 3 or 4 men in here with good 1,500 metres speed, and you need it at 5,000 these days. When you consider the Olympic champion is one of the greatest 1,500 metre runners we've ever had, then that's what you're up against.
First K fight, by the way, the pacemakers were bang on the money, 2:34, but of course the chasing pack went through in 2:38.
And almost on cue, a certain Sir Mo Farah just literally walked in front of us, watching this 5,000 metres, right in front of us at the finish line.
A resident now of Doha for the last year or so, and enjoying himself, looking very relaxed indeed. That was a lovely bit of timing from Sir Mo Farah. So the pack still going on into the second kilometre here. Samuel Tefera, Balew, Kurgat, another Kenyan. Getnet Wali still in there as well. Cooper Teare. Nice to see an American come over to Doha to race in the Diamond League. Many of his fellow Americans are still at altitude in serious training blocks, so good to see him coming and making the trip.
Yeah, this is just turning into a bit of cat and mouse here. I mean, Wale is the one at the front. Nobody really wants to help him out. Pacemakers way gone, that doesn't matter. So someone was chatting to me the other day about Tom Byers. Would you know Tom Byers? Tom Byers, famously in Oslo, many years ago, was a pacemaker in the 1500 meters with all the big names in. Steve Ovett was meant to chase him, didn't, and he won. So it happened to be in a conversation the other day, and I said, I can't remember the last time I saw that happen. Well, these three pacemakers, two of them now, they're not going to keep going in a 5,000, but there they are. They're doing their job. They're staying with the light. Wouldn't it be funny?
It would be. It would be. Now you've mentioned it. Now you've mentioned it. Yeah, the two pacemakers left. Sasinek there and Kipchoge from Kenya doing their job. And here the chasing pack. Yahuni we mentioned. Wale's still in there. Kemboy, haven't mentioned him yet. Cornelius Kemboy, bronze medalist at the All-African Games. He was 8th. He's already been in Diamond League action so far this season. Was in Keqiao near Shanghai a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, the problem with my story was Tom Byers was a pretty good 1500-meter runner in his own right. I think he went to the World Championships later on. Kipchoge is an 800, 1500-meter man who's not going to keep going for a strong 5,000.
12 seconds the gap, by the way, between the pacemaker and the chasing pack. 5:20 they went through 2 kilometers, so we can forget anything to do with a meeting record at the moment. And they come in front of us with 7 to go. Still lots of positions to be taken there. Teare just keeping out of trouble. 4 from the back, keeping an eye on him. The American looking very comfortable indeed. So Yahuni it is who's doing a bit of the heavy lifting down the back straight in the red strip with Wale there. He's been there or thereabouts. And it's really slowed, hasn't it? It's slowed even more now.
So is Kipchoge, bless him. So he's still, what, 80 meters ahead, where he's slowing down very, very quickly. So really interesting, this, isn't it? You know, when you look at the ability of these guys, but winning the Diamond League is big now, you know, and also when you go to championships, they don't get enough opportunities to run these sort of races where, if so Grant Fisher in America a week or 2 ago, a sub 4 minute last mile, just decided, I just want to test myself. I know I need to be able to do this in championships. So this is good for the guys. This is a good opportunity to see, can you pitch yourself against, you know, world-class runners in the last 2K. What can you do? What do I need to do? Do I need to go at the front from 6 out? Can I do it from 2 out? Can I leave it the last 400 meters? All those questions going through their minds now.
Well, is that gap getting bigger or smaller, or is it staying about the same? I'm talking about the gap between the one remaining pacemaker, Kipchoge, and the rest of the field.
No, it's almost halved on that lap. Yeah, they're he's keeping going. Well done. I'd say he's about 40 meters ahead now, maybe 45.
So approaching 3 kilometers, 7:42 would have been the desired pace to get the meeting record. But they're way outside that. And he's almost jogging now. Kipchoge coming past in front of us with 5 to go. Yahuni still leading the way from Kurgat, one of the Kenyans. Then Getnet Wale is still in there as well. They're bunching. Cooper Teare keeping out of trouble there, right at the back, almost Ingebrigtsen-like, keeping an eye on him. Yeah, and that gap has got closer and closer. Within a lap, they'll be on his shoulder.
Sadly for Kipchoge, I think he just missed his 3,000 personal best by half a second there. Anyway, they're going to swallow him up just now. You're right, you know, you have to remember it's hot here, very hot. And it doesn't matter where you're from, you have to contend with the conditions as well. So we know we're going to Tokyo for World Championships in September. Hot, humid conditions likely to be faced. So as I said, once more, it's a good test, this. Really good test. Here's another 1500 meter man who has got the wherewithal, the tactics, if you like, in the closing stages here to get this right with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, Cheruiyot now, mentioned him earlier on, the 20-year-old, his personal best, 13:33.05, which is pretty meaningless. He's only run one 5,000 race in his life. That was at altitude in Nairobi. But he won the junior trials, the Kenyan trials last year at the age of 19. And we've lost one Cheruiyot, haven't we, in middle distance running over the last year or so. And here's another one. Reynold Cheruiyot is now taking it on with Yahune in second, and Kemboy, the other Kenyan, just behind him. Tefera's in there as well.
Cooper Teare just starting to struggle. When the pace came on there, he was at the back, but he wasn't able to do anything. So he looks as though he's suffering at this sort of pace, which is a little bit of a surprise. Well, he has raced quite a lot just recently, so he's finding himself detached.
Well, this could come down to the 1,500-meter specialists, and Tefera is one of them. Cheruiyot we've mentioned as well, Yahune. They've all got good 3K times as well, but where's the kick? Balew down in 6th at the moment. He can finish strongly as well. 3 to go. Still a pack of what, about 9 or 10 in front of us, a little bit of a gap, and Cooper Teare is now last but one.
Starting to try and look at faces, you know. Kemboy is tucked in the middle of the pack in there, all red, looks very comfortable. I have to say Balew also looks good on the outside, but nobody being put any real pressure here. Yahune is at the front, but really not hurting them too much. Balew perhaps a bit of strain on his face now.
The tall figure there of Mohamed Abdullahi as well, from Germany. He's in the mix as well for the first time. Balew just behind him. And once again, it's Yahune, the slightly diminutive figure of Yahune, who's just been overtaken there by the taller German. Abdullahi making his presence felt for the first time. Balew there just taking closer order as well. Coming into the home straight there with 2 to go.
It's interesting, wasn't it? Kemboy made a move out, and then he's gone back in, and now he's come back out again. He's gone past Balew, so he's covering the moves. Tefera, though, is the one who's always put himself in a good position here. 2 laps to go. 63 there. Easy still for these guys off the pace they've been running. Maybe the conditions, though, this thing that's telling. Balew has won them in this sort of race before, but with Tefera on his shoulder. Look at Kemboy, looks nice and comfortable, doesn't he? Just easing up as well. Big sprint to come.
Yeah, Balew then down the back straight for the penultimate time. Balew, Tefera, shoulder to shoulder. Balew there in the red. Cheruiyot is still there or thereabouts. Lovely languid style from Balew. He was 4th in the Olympic final as part of the refugee team, you may remember last year. Only Ingebrigtsen, Kwemoy and Grant Fisher, who the medalists finished ahead of him. Tefera, though, just pushing his way through. A little bit of a gap for Balew still to sneak through if he wants to.
Operating at full tilt now. Tefera has a little look behind, see what's there. He's still got 1,500-meter man Cheruiyot. Kipchoge on the inside. Balew just gets a little bit of a shove from Cheruiyot and pushes him forward. Looks like Kemboy can't go with this.
62.36, the last 400 metres. Now they're stepping on the gas. Tefera and Balew with Kipchoge in pursuit. Now down the back straight, the stride lengthens, the cadence increases. Tefera to the left, Balew there, has the inside line. Cheruiyot is there still. Kipchoge, the Kenyan. Still we have 5. Balew's going wide as well. Balew and Balew. Balew's gone wide, but he's made it count here. Round the crown of the bend into the home straight. Who's got this? Cheruiyot still fighting really hard. Balew's got the inside line. There goes Cheruiyot. Now then, is this decisive? He's lights out. Balew's gone, and daylight growing all the time. The Kenyan crowd going absolutely crazy. What a kick that is. Devastating. Brilliant win for Cheruiyot, the youngster, in only his 2nd ever 5,000 metres. What a win that was!
And there you have it, the favourites had their resume, but Reynold Cheruiyot had the night. A massive upset in Doha as the dark horse outruns the legends to make a name for himself. Proof that on the track, titles don't win races, hunger does. Cheruiyot takes Doha. If you love this content, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one.